Hello, everyone. It is Penny Baird with Blessed Magnolia here again for another aisle planner tips and tricks. And this week we're going to jump right into layouts. It's a little bit more advanced if you haven't used layouts yet, but it is the feature that made me dive into aisle planner and fall in love with it. So I wanted to go ahead and jump in on that one. So here we go. Okay, so when you get onto your project and you go to layout and seating, it will ask you to, you know what, I'm going to do let's add a new layout so you can see it from the start. We're going to call it ceremony and we're going to create layout. So you start with a blank canvas. And I am going to make an assumption that this ceremony is on a lawn outside with a whole row of trees behind us as the backdrop. So in order to really give us some visual, you come over here to draw. I'm going to draw a rectangle, kind of the space that I am envisioning. So I'm going to make it 45 by 85. And then inside that space, I'm going to go to Style. And here you can fill the color. So I'm going to come over here, grab the green section. I'm going to come down to the right kind of color green that grass would typically be, but then I'm going to kind of bring that down a little bit so it's more the backdrop. So just to kind of give you a visual of some green grass. And then, so now we kind of have our grassy area where the reception would be. So then I'm going to come down here to my library and I want to find in your library you have built in down here a hedge, you've got some plants, and you've got some large plants. So I like this large plant here, kind of to me resembles trees. I am going to make that fill a little bit more green and a little darker. And I'm actually going to make it a little darker here because trees tend to be in the right time of year, they tend to be darker. So I'm going to make it and then I resized it to kind of resemble a tree. If you do Control C and then Control V, it copies your object. So then you can then start copying your object around the board. Once you copy it once, you only have to hit Control V from that point forward to keep. And I'm going to move this down a little bit. You can hit your arrow here and then tilt it. And then you can take this one and tilt it so that way they kind of look, the same. They don't have to look the same, but they look the same. Control V, I want to bring in a couple more trees. Control V and a couple more trees. I'm going to turn them. There we go. So now I kind of have what looks like a tree backdrop. And then I want to bring in my ceremony seating. So I am going to be sitting 100 people. And then what I want for ceremony seating in your library, again, you have ceremony seating. So do you want your ceremony seating to be chevron seating or arched? Do you want it straight? Are you going to add benches? But if you're just going to do chairs and you like them arched, you would come here and you can put that in. Then you're going to go to your shape. It's going to tell you have 100 seats. You have 10 per side. The aisle width is 6 feet of width here. They're banquet style chairs. It actually gives you, now they're spaced 2 inches apart. Now, right now with COVID, we know that we should have, in places that still have restrictions, we probably should have them spaced a little bit further apart. So we could space them 6 inches apart, which as you see, look what it does. So every chair is 6 inches apart. If you were on restrictions and you needed to bring this down to 50 people, you would just change this to 50, but it still leaves you at 10. So now take your layout and make it 5 chairs per side. And then you see what it does. It makes 5 chairs, 2 rows, and then it gives you enough seating for 50. Then you would be able to space your seat out 2 feet apart. And then look what it does. It spaced everyone out. It left your aisle and it left you there. And then you've got this beautiful curved, arched ceremony seating. And then you can move this closer to the hedge or back. And then you can also, if you want to actually draw, you could put up here, you could draw a rectangle right here and say it's just like an arbor. You could color this in, go to your style, fill it, find where you see the brown, bring this in, make it brown. You could pull it back a little bit on the color, and then you can come in here, draw, hit text, and then go right on top of here and you can put arbor. That way you've now set your whole thing, you've set it up. Now, maybe you have a small table there that you would like to show for, oh my goodness, excuse me. Maybe you have a small table that you need to put there for a sand ceremony or anything like that you would want to put. So maybe it's a 30-inch round and you'd want to put this here off to the side for your sand ceremony. Or maybe you want that right in the middle in the back and you would stand in front of that for your ceremony. Maybe you want it over here off to the side. But wherever you want that, then you can put that there. You can hit draw, put your text, and you can put sand ceremony or unity candle or whatever you would like that to say. It is there. Maybe you also would like to add big plants back here to mark your aisles. So you would come back over here. You could find your plants and you could put those in. Again, change the coloring to the coloring that you want. Maybe you want these to be whites and greens. So I would go back to a white. I would copy this, Control C, Control V, and I can put the other one over here. And those are my aisle markers, a big statement piece of floral for my aisle markers, and I can designate them text, statement floral. And again, Control C, Control V, I can copy that, put it over here, and it's a statement floral on my aisleway. So this is how you could set up your ceremony layout. Give it some color, give it some depth, and actually help you be able to show this to a client. So if I wanted to download this as a PDF and see what the client would see, I'd come right here to this arrow, I'd download as a PDF, and then right there, that is how your client would see it when you sent that to them. So I think this tool is wonderful. I'm going to cancel that right now. I love this tool because the layout tool is just a game changer for Aisle Planner for me. When we had Aisle Planner prior to the layout, it was always something that I hoped that they would have. And now that they do have it, that was the moment that everything turned around for me with Aisle Planner. And I knew that I loved it and I wanted to use it for everything. So I dove in, I really taught myself Aisle Planner well and taught myself how to work around in the system. I hope that you still love these tips and tricks. Please subscribe to my channel below, and then also leave me comments on what types of tips and tricks you would like to see, or if there's anything that I can help you with, you want to ask me a question, feel free to ask me in the comments section and I'd be glad to help out. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.